And pleasantly, when I talked with you, Chris, I was happy to learn that, yeah, you and your interests and your organization, your foundation of Mentally Shredded, you're really trying to bridge that gap between mental, emotional, and physical health, well-being, and connection. And I'm just, excited to talk with you, but I was so enthralled by what you're growing that I wanted to get involved. So just to let everybody know, I'm also hoping to be more involved with Mentally Shredded, but am officially an advisor, and I'm proud and happy to be a part of this.
And so recently we hosted our first in-person international event in the UK. It was a success. In fact, the owner of the facility we hosted that program at just reached out to me this morning and said, "When's the next one?" So
Mm.
if that says anything, um, we are invited back, and I tend to find that that happens anytime that we are invited into a space. The feedback has been positive, and so that's the goal. We blend mental and physical wellness. You were spot on with Mentally Shredded, and with the RX program specifically, that's a workout combined with a mental health discussion. So as somebody who performed at a very high level in soccer, went on to achieve some pretty cool things. But I always had performance anxiety since freshman year of high school. I suffered depression in college, and then later in life found myself struggling with anxiety, depression, and eventually burnout in my corporate career. And so everything that we are doing is by design. It's giving back tools that I've learned through therapy, through application, really, and everything that helped me rebuild my foundation. We've now grown into a program to serve others.
Yeah, I love that. So much of what I do professionally these days certainly is born out of my own personal hardships and growth, having to move through that and survive and, figure it out and come out better on the other side. And that sounds a little bit about what you were just saying.
One of the things I do expect is for people to hit a wall, because the purpose of RX is to challenge the body and empower the mind, which means, yes, the workout is going to become difficult because at some point, something is going to come up for you that's going to say, "Hey, we should quit," or "Hey, this hurts." And once you're able to, especially with how I communicate, because once that starts happening, I can tell. I can look around the room. I'm like, all right, they're starting to hit a wall. Then I start to just shout out, "Think about what you're thinking about," and I just put little teasers in, and then automatically, from what I've heard, this is the feedback I've been given. There's a shift that happens. They start thinking about business or their families or all these things that help them continue to move forward. And recently, here in Wilmington, North Carolina, that happened at one of our pop-ups, and the lady was like, "I wanted to quit." And when I thought about it, when you said think about what you're thinking about, I thought about, if I quit now, it may lead to me quitting my business. She said, "I don't want to quit my business."
So much power in hitting the wall.
How
And,
often do you get to that,
yeah,
right?
how often do I get to that? I,
To even the person listening, you
I
or
yeah,
anybody listening.
I think